It looks like I am live. Hopefully, I'm live on Facebook too. Yes. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Had a camera snafu, but I'm super grateful to be here. All righty. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Tammy Morrison, and I am here with Sunday service. So I am on YouTube and also on Facebook. So if you're joining me, drop in the comments where you're watching from, because that's always interesting to me, especially since we are all over the planet and we're watching all over the world. I love to see where people are from. So if you're popping in, drop in the comments and let me know where you're joining from, and hashtag live if you're live. And if you're on replay, then hashtag replay, and also let me know where you are joining from. So this is Tammy Morrison, and let me tell you a little bit about who I am in case you are unaware. So my name is Tammy Morrison. I am an intuitive healer. I have been a healer for my entire life. I'm a fourth generation healer, which is something new for me because I found out that healers went back at least that far in my lineage, maybe more, but that's what I know of. So I was raised Pentecostal holiness religion. My grandmother was a pastor, preacher, teacher, evangelist, prophetess type, is what I like to affectionately refer to her as. And so she was intuitive as well, and she was also a healer. We actually had people that she worked with and that she healed in her home, in our home, because I lived with her for a good period. And so I saw her example. She would work with people to get them healed. She worked with them to get them off drugs. She would work with them to get them healed from eating disorders. I remember those in particular because I was a little girl. I was probably like 4, 5, 6, 7 years old when I remember all of these cases that she helped. And so she was a healer, and so that was the example that she set, and that was the impartation that she did for me to help me because she recognized the healer in me. And so here I am. And so this Sunday service came about because Spirit had been on me for a little while, actually, to come and do a Sunday service, and not a service as usual, not anything that you probably have been through before. Um, I love Dr. Michael Beckwith's services. I really do. I have not had a chance to visit him in his location, but I've participated many times online. And so I love that type of service. But the one that I'm bringing is what Spirit wants us um, to have. And so I'm super, super excited about it. And one of the things that for me, because in my profession, I've been in the medical field for over 30 years. And to be honest, I have a little disdain for the medical community just because it's so much profit over people now. And it seems that people don't care. And so when I look at that, it makes me sad. And when I started to ask Spirit about it, what could be done and what did we need to do, one of the things I heard is just to begin. And so here I am beginning. And what I want to share with you first is I pulled a card for us from the Magic of You Oracle. And this card is Avenoir, Make Peace with Your Past. Avenoir, Make peace with your past. And this was absolutely resonant to me because that is the space that I am in. And that's the space that I am helping others as well. Because, as you go through, then you're able to see and to look back. And actually, one of the things that for me is I am able to see what it is that I desired to have at that time when I was going through that phase. Because there are so many phases in life where we go through by ourselves. We do not, we don't have no help, or we don't feel like we have any help. Um, so many times, we don't have a physical mentor, but you may have a spiritual mentor, which for me, I've had lots of those. And so as we go through this Avonwa, make peace with your past. The rower sitting in her boat can only see from where she has come as she surges forward. When Avonwa or Avenor presents, it is time to gain perspective and an understanding of the role your past has played in the direction you are heading today. Are you able to appreciate the beauty of where you have come from and let that guide you into the future? Or are you focused on problems, mistakes, and disappointments and letting them forge your direction? Now, I have to speak to that because that is one of the things that when I began to go deep inside of myself, I began to see that was an area that I needed to bust through. There were limiting beliefs around this area for me that I needed to bust through. So as you strike out in the pursuit of more, Avanois reminds you to contemplate that more will never be meaningful and fulfilling until you truly embrace and unconditionally appreciate where you have come from in all its purifying pain and gentle glory. Avanois is a healing card. It's time to make peace with your past. So if you had some stuff in your past that even when you think about it, you feel this sensation in your stomach, or you feel something in your back, or you feel, a deep depression headed your way, any of those things. The girl in the Avanois emerges from her journey along a dark, stormy sea, her hair still bearing the waves she rode as she was guided into this moment by her past. She trusts her gut. The tree of her life grows from her core experiences. Radiant and brave, she confidently faces an unknown future by anchoring herself in the present moment. In doing so, she embraces her life's journey without judgment. She does not regret the past nor fear its weight or legacy. She has learned to see it for what it is, essential for her growth. As you face your challenges today, embrace your past. Climb high, be brave and bold. Unconditionally, the past lifts you up. The tree of life is yours to climb. Trust it. So, some of the things that they suggest that we can do as a ritual on a new moon is to write down 3 memories you love and that celebrate your unique life on a piece of paper. Fold the paper over 3 times, plant it beneath a strong, beautiful tree. Every day leading up to the full moon, go to the tree and trace your name in the dirt in the base of the tree. Its life force will grow your unique future in the world of potential, fueled by the energy of your best experiences. So that to me was like a sign for us, a sign for many of us to let go of the past. And, people say that really flippant, but I'm going to say it like this. My grandmother used to say, eat the meat and spit out the bones. So if it works for you and it's something that is helpful to you, and if you can feel it and it feels good to you in your spirit, then go for it. Do it. But if it doesn't, don't. Let it go. Leave it alone. And the past is one of those things that it can hold you hostage and you're not even aware of that. Many times we have um, stuffed our past and we've stuffed our feelings about it. And so a lot of times we are in this place where our past is holding us hostage, but we are not even aware of it. We don't even know. We don't even know that that is what's going on until we begin to dig into it, or until we begin to, talk to somebody about it, till we begin to share, till we begin to open up and understand that. Yes, it did happen to me, but it's over. And it's not a thing I can do about it now. But how can I learn from that? That is really the thing that I want to talk about, is how can we learn from that? How can we learn from the past? How can we learn from this thing that has hurt us so bad? Now, I can share a little bit in my past. I was married for 20 years to a man that he just didn't know how to love. That was that was it. He just didn't know how to love. I could say a lot of things about him. I could bash him, and I could say that, it was the most horrible time of my life, but I cannot say that because that is not true. There were good times in that 20 years. They just weren't all good. And a lot of the bad kind of outweighed the good. However, we were young, and it was a place where, you know, I say that we were young and dumb and full of cum. And so we were. And I just didn't know what I didn't know. And so for me at this time, at this point, to blame him would not be right. And I say that to a lot of young ladies that are dealing or are navigating that um, particular area of life, divorce and separation and all this kind of stuff. There was a time when I was deeply in love. We were deeply in love, and not that love goes away, because this is one of the things that I wanted to share as well. Love does not go away. I don't care what you say. I don't care how bad the hurt is. If you love, if it truly was love, then it's still love. It's just transmute. It changed into something different. The love that I have for that man is not the same as the love that I have for my husband now. It's not the same. I love him because we shared all that time together and we made those babies together. And so I have to have that version of love. And I believe that that will protect you as you're going through, especially if you're going through this type of um, separation, divorce, all of that stuff. Because when you embrace the love, then it's going to set you free. It's going to set you free. Because one thing about God, God is love. God is love. And I don't care what anybody says. I will never not believe that God is love. And God is love. It's all the other shit going on around us that maybe not love, but God is love. And so as I was able to navigate through that process, because I'm telling you, it was a process. It was hard. I'm not even gonna lie, and I can't sugarcoat this, but it was a difficult time and season for me. Because to be honest, I have fought for my marriage for years. I mean, probably decades, because like I said, we were married for 20 years, but we were together since we were 17 years old. So because I'm a fighter, and because I feel like I've had to fight my whole life, I've had to fight for my life, I had to fight within my life. And so I was a fighter, and I was fighting for my marriage. And I did that for a few years. And I actually, sometimes I felt like we grew closer together. And then, something always inevitably happened where, we were on separate ends of the spectrum. And so what I learned through that is to keep going. And also don't dwell on the past, because you can't change it. You can't fix it. All you can do is learn from it. You can learn from it, or you can allow it to keep you stuck and down. And so that is one of the things that I can't say enough, is to release the past and let it go. And there are ways that you can. Now, I'm not saying this, and I have to preface this because I hear people saying stuff sometimes and it just triggers the hell out of me, and I don't want to be that trigger for you. So I have to say that many times, um, when we are in these type of situations where we have a choice of whether we can focus on love. Can we focus on love or can we not? How does that roll for us? Can we focus on love or not? What is that even about for us? How does that work? Lord, okay, so I was trying to find my life. Okay, there it is. What in the world? I don't even know what is going on. What's going on? Okay, I was trying to find my live. Okay, I don't know where to find it. Okay. All right, I can't worry about it. I was going to see if I could find my live. They make it increasingly harder and harder to do anything on this book. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm trying to share this live out and I can't even share it out. Hey, Dr. Marnie, thank you so much for joining me. I Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So I want to invite you to make sure that you are looking at things from a lens of love. And that is one of the things that the Spirit wanted me to share today is the love of God, because God is love. Now, so many different religions and different interpretations and different people interpret God's love in a different way. I want to invite you to think about what God's love means to you, or if you universe love, source love, whatever word you want to use for that. For me, I use God. And so I want you to consider and think about God's love. And y'all give me a second. I have to turn on the fan and open the door because it is warm in here. I live in the Pacific Northwest and yeah. And it's summer. This is our 2 minutes of summer. And it's a little warm. And of course we have no air conditioning in the house, except I have one upstairs in my bedroom because it's too hot to be sleeping without air in the bedroom. But downstairs where I am, there's no air. So give me about 2 seconds. Let me get my coffee and turn on the fan and open the window, open the door. Alrighty. So, so what I'm sharing today is I want everyone to think about and focus on love, because the thing is if we were to focus on love, then this world would be so much of a better place. I mean, we wouldn't be going through all the different things that we're going through, because really, truly, if especially America wants to get back to where it belongs, then it needs to focus on God's love, not so much the punishment, not so much fire and brimstone, not so much that stuff, but the love of God. Because the thing about it is, if you know that God loves you, then it is easy for you to love someone else. And so that was one of the things that I asked when I sat down and I asked God for a husband, because I did ask. Because I was young when I got divorced, I was young when I got married. So I was young still when I got divorced, and I knew that I wanted, somebody else in my life. I knew that I did not want to go it alone forever. I knew that I needed time to heal, and I took that time. But I also knew that I was going to want somebody else, because one thing about it is the studies show that when people marry young, they typically continue to marry. And this is why you see so many people. This is why you see so many people um, getting married again and again and again, because they started young. And so really what it is it's what you know. So for me, I got married at 19. So all I know is how to be a wife. And I was trained how to do that by my grandmother, who, came from that generation where they showed us how to be wives. And many times now, these days, we don't have a lot of that. A lot of people are not, they don't train them like they did us. Now, I don't know, also, maybe it's because I'm from the South, because, in the South, we are taught how to be wives. We're taught how to take care of our husbands. And so that is something that I learned, and I did very well. My ex will tell you that too. If he could, he would tell you that, you know, I was a good wife. And so, because that's really all I know how to do as far as that, because that is how I was trained and how I was raised. And that's what I saw. I saw the amazing relationship between my grandparents. Now, of course, by the time I got there, whatever they had been through, they probably had already been through, but I didn't see that. What I saw was the love, and I saw the honor and the respect. And that was something that was huge for me, because I didn't see it in lots of other relationships, but that one I did. And they didn't argue, which is something that I love, because I don't do drama. I do not like it at all. And so they didn't argue anything. So that was the example that I saw, and so that is the example that I am, and so anyway, if we will forge through and we will just, you know, have this love in our heart, because that is the thing. And so as we invite that in our heart, as we invite that into our heart, as we invite God's love into our heart, even at a deeper level than maybe you've had invited it in the past. So for me, I feel like, every day that I invite God's love into my heart, every day, because daily I do, because I know that it is a journey, and I know that I'm on it. And I know that every day is not the same. And I also know that every day is not supposed to be the same. But I do realize that as I invite the love of God in my heart, and I begin to really, really embody this, and I begin to share that out, because that is what I feel is my mission, to impact and share God's love to people, and the healing, and that you can be healed. Because I think the first thing with healing, and really anything, because I'm learning that even across the board, anything, healing, manifestation, any of it, is love. Love. And the first person that we want to love besides God is ourselves. And to be honest, if we love ourselves, we do love God, because God lives within us. And that is one of the things that I definitely have to say, because so many people are preaching all kinds of other stuff. They're preaching division and diversity and all this kind of shit. And none of it has to do with God. And so that is why, one of the reasons why I'm here, and I am here to help to shake this up in the environment, in the world. And the more I look at people, and the more I watch different people's videos and things, especially here on YouTube and Facebook now, because They even do stuff on Facebook and they got commercials, y'all. That is like crazy to me. And they're actually worse than YouTube because some of them you can't even skip them. YouTube, at least you can mostly skip them. Listen a little bit and then skip, but these ones are ridiculous. So I digress. God's love. So as we go through our life and as we begin to open up to the things of God, and even not, and I'm not talking about religion. So get that off of your brain, get that out of your spectrum. Let's not even deal with religion because that is not what we're talking about. I am talking about God. And I have such a love for God that I just feel like if we would all just come together and we would all have that love of God shed abroad in our heart, then we will heal this planet, because definitely it needs to be healed. And the thing is there were things that were popping up for decades, actually centuries, that needed healed. Centuries, y'all, centuries. Because the thing about it is people are people. We are all the same. One thing that I've learned as a nurse is that we all bleed red blood. I don't give a damn what they tell you, it is all red. Because I have witnessed bleeding from every type of nationality in this planet. I had to think a minute, but yeah, I actually have. Because I have taken care of lots and lots and lots of people from all over the planet. Not even the nation, the planet, because I've worked all over this country except for the Midwest. I've worked in the Southeast, the Northeast, now the Pacific Northwest, and the Southwest. And so I've seen people from all over the planet. We had a lot of people that come from a lot of different places where I live now, especially. So I've seen blood from all these people. So I can tell you that everybody's blood is red. Everybody. And if you are lacking blood and you need blood, you'll take it from anybody that has your blood type or anybody that can give you blood. You don't care because you rather take the blood than to die. And I'm agreeing with that. As a person that had taken 4 units of blood, I had 4 units of blood. Um, yes, yes. I had 4 units of blood when I had my youngest child. I actually was almost dead. And so that is another reason why I know that I'm here to help this planet heal, because God took me from the brink of death. I was dying, y'all. My doctor had called my ex-husband and told him that he needed to come and get his baby, so that, because his wife was dying. That's what the doctor called. He had to call the Red Cross because my husband was in the military at the time. And he was across the country. Matter of fact, he was where I am right now. And I was in Georgia. And so the doctor called him and told him he needed to come and get his baby because his wife was dying. This is what my doctor called my ex-husband and told him. And so when I think about that, I know that God brought me back from the brink. And so I am so appreciative, and I love God more than anything else. That's a me thing. I'm a God girl. And yes, I'm interested in, I love crystals. I love oracles. I love to talk about the goddesses and to read about them. So yeah, all of those things, they make me a lover of God. That's what they do. And so today, I just wanted to really come on and just talk a little bit about God being the love of our life, and also for us releasing the past, because that is what it's time for us to do. We gotta release the past, y'all. We have to release the past, because the thing about it is it holds us hostage in so many ways. It can get stuck into our emotions. And so I'm going to do a healing in a couple of minutes, because that is one of the things that I definitely want to do in this Sunday service. And like I said, I had talked previously, I wanted to, I have to try to figure out a good time to do this. So it may be a little bit earlier. Not sure. I got to figure it out because it seems like, because it seems like I'm working some Sundays, which is something. And then I also do readings in a metaphysical shop on the fourth Sunday, and I also do a what do you call that thing? A sister circle, a sister circle on that same Sunday in that same shop. So I've got to see maybe those days it'll be in the evening. I have to figure it out. We'll sit down and look at it. Either that or probably we'll have to get up too early. And I'm sort of kind of not really an early bird type of person because people are wanting me to do 7 o'clock meetings in the morning, and that, yeah, I'm not camera ready at 7 o'clock. I'm generally not awake at 7 o'clock because I have had trouble sleeping for a long time, probably because of my shifts that I worked as I worked. Because I worked night shift for decades, and sometimes I would take a job where it was in the daytime because I wanted to do something different. Because I like variety. I do. I do not like to do the same shit over and over and over. I don't even like to eat the same foods over and over, except for blue crabs. I could eat those every day. So anyway, um, yeah. So the thing is as long as you are in this place where you are loving God in your heart and where you are loving yourself, because that really is what happens. Because when you love God, you're going to love yourself because God lives in you. We are so quick and so fast to look for an external God. And I guess that is what religion has taught us for all these years. It's like religion has divided us and separated us from God, and not religion. Because there's a man of God and then there's God. And so many times in religion, I've found that they want to keep God in a box, and they really don't want people to connect to God for themselves, because they want you to be able to go through a priest or a pastor or a bishop or a whoever or an intercessor or um, a prophet or a prophetess. They want you to be able to go through somebody in order to get to God. And that is totally not correct. And that's totally not something that you have to do, because God speaks to us every single day. He speaks to us every day, every day. Many times we miss it. Many times we miss the message, especially if we are not in a place where we can hear or where we can feel, because God speaks to us using our senses, using our clairsenses. He speaks to us through our body, through our feeling. You know, there are times when you get in this place where you have a feeling, and you all of a sudden this thing happens in your stomach and you're like, oh my God. And what that is anxiety for you. So it's how you feel the anxiety. Sometimes people can, God speaks to me through clairaudience many times. I hear God all the time. I also hear music. I also hear people. I hear all the time into the spirit world. And I recognize that that is one of the gifts that God has given me. And so, as you begin to realize and take this place where you know that God is love, and then you realize that it's time for you to share that love with you, as well as share it with other people. And so, as you are sharing um, with other people and sharing also with yourself, then God in you, as you, will be who you are. And so you'll transform your life in that way, because you begin to recognize it's almost like you flip a switch, and you recognize. It's almost like when Oprah realized who she was, then she began to create. And so it's the same for us. Once we realize who we are, then we can create. Once we realize who lives inside of us, that God lives inside of us, then we can create. We can come from a place of creation because we are creators. And so that is one of the things that I've been tasked to share at this time with people, because people are saying this, but they're saying it in different ways. And so I feel like if God is telling me to share it, then He wants me to share it in the way that I share it, in the way that you can understand it, in the way that it will make sense to you. And so I'm sharing that God is love, and God is you as you, God in you as you, abundance in you as you, wealth in you as you. So as you begin to cultivate that deeper relationship with God, with Source, with the universe, whatever you identify it as, Him, her, or them, your life will rapidly begin to transform, because you'll begin to open up to soul's guidance. You'll begin to open up to spirit's guidance. You'll begin to open up to all things that are for you. Because many times, especially when we go through a lot of stuff, we just don't believe things are for us. And I can attest to that, because I believe like that, even though I call myself an unbelieving believer, because I went to church every time the doors open. I was at church for many years. I raised my children in the church, which I don't regret, and I'm really glad for that, because they got a foundation and they understand God. Now, when they took it on and they went on with it, they still know that God is love, and that God is real, and that God lives within them. You know, however, they realize it on a bigger scale, because God is so much bigger than religion wants us to believe. It's like God is so much bigger. And I, for one, just don't understand why people can't understand that. But then I realized that, and I'm probably going to get some flack from this, but I don't care. Karl Marx said that religion was the opiate of the masses. And I believe that. I agree with that, because it lulls people to sleep, and they don't even know what the hell is going on in life or in the world, but they're lulled to sleep, and they're thinking about this little tiny God, when God is so much huger, so much bigger, so much more expansive, and that is where I am coming in today to share. So we're going to do a healing. So if you are available to do that, if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, let us get started. I am going to take you into a journey. All right. Take a deep breath and close your eyes. I want you to see, feel, or imagine a bright light coming down from the heavens, all the way down, down, and into your crown chakra, and take that all the way down through all those chakras, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacrum, and the root. Take it all the way down, and as it goes down, correct them and open them up to the level where they are supposed to for you. I want you to see that light going down, 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 down through all of those chakras, all the way into the legs and the feet, all the way into the heart of Mother Earth, and connect there. Feel the heart-to-heart connection between Mother Earth and your heart, and the heart of Creator. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As you take that light, see that light come all the way back up through all that dirt and all that mold and grime, all the way through the feet, through the legs, through all of those chakras into the heart. Anchor it there. And take a deep breath for me. And then I want you to take that light all the way up, 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 up into the heart of Christ consciousness. And I want you to visualize and see all the beautiful bright lights and the jelly-like substances that are the laws up there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bring that light down, 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 down through the chakras, through the heart, all the way down through the feet, into an opening in the earth where you'll see a bubble where you're in the center. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Now you are grounded. I'm going to run the soul's blueprint. This alignment will download the blueprint from your oversoul, also known as your higher self. It will align with your soul path in this lifetime. You may experience a lot of energy moving, flowing, and shifting during this process. This alignment will help all of the right people, opportunities, and experiences and knowledge to come into your awareness so you can do what you are born to do with ease. Then I want to run the alignment of clarity, which will bring clarity, crystal clarity around any experience, person, or circumstance, including clarity on your own wants and needs. Focus on the situation you are desiring clarity on while receiving this alignment for rapid results. And then I want to run the cleanse and protect. This alignment completely and effectively clear your own and anyone else's energy. It is the most powerful way to clear entities and attachments, negative energies, and hooks and cords from the energy body. This alignment also moves interdimensional portals away from an individual's home, land, and personal energetic space while resolving oaths, vows, and contracts that allow negative entities, energies, beliefs, and emotions to flow through. This alignment automatically places a shield around each individual who receives it, their home going a mile deep underground, members of their household, including pets, their workplaces, and vehicles. This shield includes an energetic vacuum at the top, so any negative energies that can come close can be sent to God's light. And then I want to run the alignment Love Yourself Fully. Clear hundreds of beliefs and feelings around unworthiness and self-rejection and the original traumas that created this false programming. It also releases embedded fears, guilt, and shame that may block you from fully understanding and accepting that you are being of worthy, unconditional love from yourself and others. This will return you into a state of wholeness and love for yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. I'm going to run collapsing timelines. Collapsing timelines that are not serving your highest and best good, bringing in the lessons and gifts from those timelines, washing clean all the trauma, pain, and other negativities in God's light. You will also align with your highest and best possible timeline. I want to run a spiritual detox in divine love and light. Creator, change it. This alignment will clear and cleanse your energy field and your chakras from negative spiritual debris, the emotions, energies, and beliefs that are sometimes left behind after healing from being in crowded spaces or connecting with people who do not have our best interests at heart. This alignment will bring you back to a state of purity and clear energy, which will manifest on an emotional level as feeling calm, connected, and centered. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also need to run the highest intention. Allow you to infuse an object, image, etc. with the energy of your intentions. For instance, you will be able to charge a crystal, a candle, a beloved photo, or any object with this alignment so it can hold your intentions and set them out into the universe in the highest and best way. This alignment will also clear all blocks and resistance to fully having, doing, being, and stepping into your intentions. In divine love and light, Creator, change it. And Spirit is telling me to run the adrenal fatigue failure. This alignment will get to the heart of the matter and release the chronic or acute stress and or trauma that caused the problem adrenal fatigue to occur. This also balances your adrenal glands, adrenaline, cortisol, gonadotropins, and gonadotropin hormones, vasopressin, norepinephrine, serotonin, and acetylcholine. This alignment also works to reduce the effects of stress and trauma, including exhaustion. In divine love and light, creator changes. Running all these alignments in divine love and light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for anchoring these healings right now. Thank you for accepting these healings into your heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you right now as we anchor these alignments and these healings right now. Sheta yala lamoso koro masakala lamoso koro basaka. Ina yala lamoso koro masike yina manana sata. Lo koro bose yala la manana saka. Shoto yolo loboso koro mayala la manana. Ye la basa keke la loboso koro masakaya. Isa yala lamoso koro masaka. Spirit is saying today to let go of the past and release those things that are no longer serving you. Allow yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Forgive yourself. Allow yourself to give yourself permission to be able to recognize the God in you. Allow yourself and give yourself permission to set yourself free from the past. You can't change it. All you can do is transmute it and send it to God's light. And so today, that is what we are doing. We are transmitting the past with love and sending it to God's light. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Lord, for showing up with us today for this Sunday service. Thank you for allowing me to be the channel of your goodness today with today's Sunday service. And thank you for giving me this download to bring this to the people so that they can begin to heal in ways that they know not how. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. We love you so much, Lord. We thank you for allowing us this time and this space to connect across the airwaves and be able to bring Sunday service to the masses, to people that may or may not do Sunday service as usual. Let them come and see this and be shown a clear picture and give them the clarity that they desire in order to commune with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I absolutely love this. Thank you, Dr. Marnie, for hanging out with me. Thank you for those of you that are going to come later and catch the replay. That is so amazing. That is one of the things that I love about being able to be on social media is that I can actually talk to people all over the planet. You know, I can talk to people in Russia, people in Ukraine, people in the Caribbean, like Dr. Marnie, people in Ecuador, like my friend Carolyn, people in Portugal, like some other people that I just met, people in Bali. I just saw a young man that traveled to Bali and moved, and I'm super, super excited about that. Just the fact of being able to speak to people all over the planet, and my South African girls, and my Australian girls, and my girls across the pond in the UK. I absolutely love all of them, and I love all of you. And I'm so grateful just to have this opportunity to come on here and share. So again, I have a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm not really going to talk about those today, except for the masterclass that is coming up, Healing Forward. I've dropped a link in the chat for a sign up. It is just a healing and activation masterclass, and I'm super excited to bring it because that is why I'm here, actually. Apparently, that is why I'm here. That is why Spirit had me incarnate to this particular time in this particular season. to help people to heal. And so I'm here for it. So if you are in a situation where you are wanting some help healing and you're open and ready, because that is really the key. Because many people come to me and they want healing, but they expect me to do the healing. And guess what? I'm not doing the healing. I'm a conduit, I'm a channel. God is doing the healing. But you have to believe. You have to believe. That is one of the things. You have to believe. And so I'm going to leave it there. But I really appreciate all of you for joining me. I appreciate all of you for joining me. I just had a brain freeze. I thought it was I thought it was later than it was. But it's not. So here we are. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me and for joining me. And thank you for receiving that healing. That healing was fire. If you received it, make sure that you drink plenty of water because I moved a lot of energy. And that healing is going to still be running. Those alignments will still be running throughout the day and more than likely throughout the week. And you can always come back and listen again. But those alignments are running. The energy is shifting and it is moving. I can feel it. And so you want to make sure that you drink plenty of water, not coffee like what I'm drinking right now. Oh, yeah. Y'all want to hear what my cup says? My cup says, fuck can be used in many ways, and it's probably the only fucking word that can be put every fucking where and still make fucking sense. Fuckers. If you've watched me enough, you know that is one of my words. And so when I saw this cup on Amazon, I grabbed it because it's so real and so true. All right. Again, thank you so much for hanging out and joining me. I'll definitely do Sunday service again, right? Amazon. I'll definitely do Sunday service again next Sunday. Let me see. What Sunday is it? Jesus. I think it's the fourth Sunday. Let me see. Yeah, it's the fourth Sunday. So, yeah. So I'll probably come on about 10. Yeah, I'll come on at 10, from 10 to 11, because I have a sister circle at 12. I think 12 or 12:30, something like that. I think it's 12. And at the metaphysical shop where I do readings. So, again, thank you so much for hanging out and joining. I absolutely love to do this. This has been my pleasure to bring this particular Sunday service to you. And I think it turned out pretty good. I'm super excited about it. And I am just ready, waiting for, things to open up and people to join and really come and let's have wonderful conversations just like this. So, thank you so much for hanging out. Love all of you, my heart. And Dr. Marnie, I appreciate you hanging out with me. And let's have a wonderful rest of the day and let's have a wonderful week. And I will come back on and read Dr. Joseph Murphy's Psychic Perceptions book. I think we're on chapter 6 of that one. I will come back and read that on tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you're on the lookout and catch that because that is always fire. I absolutely love that book. It's really done something for me. So that's why I'm loving to read it and share it with you guys. So again, thank you for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, weekend, whatever it is for you. And we'll talk later. Bye.